जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनन्दन ब्रज जन रंजना। यशोदनन्दन ब्रज जन रंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Gora Pramanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiraye nastaprayesu abhadresu nityam bhagavatam sevaya bhagavate uttamasloke bhaktir bhavati naisake. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very meant of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in classes on Srimad Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service unto the pure devotees of the Lord, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the Personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental song is established as an irrevocable fact. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 30, Text 31, chapter entitled The Activities of the Prachetas. Chapter Text 32. Parijate nyasa labde, Parijate jasa labde, Sarango jnana sevate, Sarango jnana sevate, Dvad angri mulam asatya, Dvad angri mulam asatya, Sakshat kim kim brinimahe, Sakshat kim kim brinimahe, Parijate jasa labde, Sarango yana sevate, Dvad angri mulam asatya, Sakshat kim kim brinimahe, Parijate jasa labde, Sarango yana sevate, Dvad angri mulam asatya, Sakshat kim kim brinimahe.
Parijatena salabde Saranganyam sasevate Vadangri murama satya Zakshat kim grimani Parijatena salabde Sarangonyam sasevate Vadangri murama satya Sakshat kim vrinimati
Parijatena salabde Sarangonyam sasevate Vadangri murama satya Sakshat kim vrinimati
Parijatena salabde Sarangonyam sasevate Vadangri mulam asatya Sakshat kim vrinimati
Parijatena salabde
Sarangonyam sasevate
Vadangri mulam asadya
Sakshat kim vrinimati
Parijatena
salabde
Sarangonyam sasevate
Vadangri mulam asatya
Sakshat kim vrinimati
Parijate, the celestial tree known as Parijata. Anjasa, completely. Labde, having achieved. Saranga, a bee. Anyat, other. Nasevate, does not resort to. Tvat angri, your lotus feet. Moolam, the root of everything. Asatya, having approached. Sakshat, directly. Kim, what? Kim, what? Vrinnimahi, may we ask. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation, dear Lord, when the bee approaches the celestial tree called the Parijata, it certainly does not leave the tree because there is no seed for such action. Similarly, when we have approached your lotus feet and taken shelter of them, what further benediction may we ask of you, purport? When a devotee is actually engaged in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, his engagement in itself is so perfect that there is no need to ask for further benediction. When a bee approaches the Parijata tree, it gets unlimited supplies of honey. There is no need to go to another tree. If one is fixed in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, there is unlimited transcendental bliss, and as such there is no need to ask for further benediction. The Parijata tree is not commonly found with this material world. The Parijata tree is also known as Kalpavriksha, or the wish-fulfilling tree. One can get anything he desires from such a tree. The material world, one can get oranges from an orange tree, mangoes from a mango tree, but there is no possibility of getting oranges from the parijata tree, from a mango tree, or vice versa. However, one can get whatever he wants from the parijata tree, oranges, mangoes, bananas, and so on. This tree is found in the spiritual world. Chintamani prakara satmasu kalpaviksha laksavartesu. The spiritual world, Chintamani Dham, is surrounded by these kalpaviksha trees. But the parijata tree is also found in the kingdom of Indra, that is on Indra's heavenly planet. This parijata tree was brought by Krishna to please Satyabhama, one of his queens, and this tree was implanted in the Dwaraka mansions constructed for the queens. The lotus feet of Lord are exactly like the parijata trees, or wish-fulfilling trees, and the devotees are like bumblebees that are always attracted. They are always attracted by the lotus feet of the Lord. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnanananjano Salakaya Chaksoranmalitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vande Am Sri Gurun Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sangrajatam Sahagano Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitam Sha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Aripriye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evecha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadharo Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Parijata Jasan Labde Sarango Yana Sevate Twad Angri Molam Asatya Sakshat Kim Rene Mahe. Dear Lord, when the bee approaches the celestial tree called the Parijata, it certainly does not leave the tree because there is no need for such action. Similarly, when we have approached your lotus feet and taken shelter of them, what further benediction may we ask of you? So we are continuing the subject matter here, the beautiful conversation between Prachetas and the Lord himself. The Lord was very pleased with the devotional service by the Prachetas, and the Lord is ready to offer any kinds of benediction for the ultimate happiness of the Prachetas. But the Prachetas, being a very wonderful devotees of the Lord, they are already satisfied in the presence of the Lord, and they felt there is no requirement to ask anything from the Lord. So very wonderfully here we are saying the interaction between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees. Past few days we've been discussing this subject matter, and we have understood that Krishna have accepted, Arjuna have accepted Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, And he also says that not only I accept, but all the other sages, Ahuswam Risaya Sarve Devarasi Narada Stada, all other great sages also have accepted Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarvam Meta Ridhan Manye Yan Mambadasi Kesava. And he says that, my dear Lord, I totally accept whatever you have said. Neither the demigods nor the demons will understand your appearance in the world. Swayam evat manatmanam vetatam purusottamam bhutta bhavesu bhutesu deva deva jagatpate. It's only by your own, you know by your own self, through the internal potency. So in this way, Arjuna have accepted. But then again, Arjuna would like to know more about Krishna. Kalam vidyam aham yogin tvam sada parichintaya kesu kesu cha bhavesu chintayosi bhagavan maya. Again in the 10th chapter, text 17 onwards, Arjuna is inquiring that, how can I remember you, in what form you to be seen, and how to think of you at the final passage of my life. He wants to know more about Krishna, and Krishna replied, Antate kalayasyame divya atmam vibodaya pradanyata krusesra nasi antavitarasya me. He says, my dear Arjun, my splendorous manifestations are very unlimited, very big. It's not possible for you to know everything, but Pradhan, there are few things that are very prominent. I will explain to you about these things. Aham atma gudake sa sarva bhuta sayasistam aham adicha madhyam cha bhutanam antameva cha. The Lord says that in the chapter 10, text 20, that He is seated in everyone's heart, and He is the beginning, He is the medium, He is the end of all being in the world. Vedaham samititani vartamani cha arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. And the Lord declared that I know everything, the past, present and future. I know every being in the world, but no one knows me in truth. So this is the ultimate truth of the life of the living being. We are trying to search for Krishna in our life, but somewhere or other, due to ignorance, we are thinking it's not Krishna, but many other things will make our life more better and more happier. So we are thinking maybe a beautiful car, that is what I need. Maybe a better house, that is what I need. Maybe some children, that is what I need. Maybe some good job and good earning, that is what we need. But unfortunately, we are seeing there are people who have already attained. There are many people have got a beautiful car, they've got a beautiful house, they've got a wonderful children and family and so on. Still, they are seeking for something more better and more better and more better. Visaya vinivartante niraharasya degina rasovarjam rasopyaso param risvanivartate. The chapter 2, text 59, the Lord explains when a person gets a higher taste, automatically he gives up the lower taste. Here the parijats and the prachetas, they're not interested in anything else, to ask from the Lord, because they already got the most highest thing in life. They've already seeing the Lord face to face, just like yesterday we've been talking about Dhruva Maharaj. He went and performed severe austerities, and he realized in the presence of the Lord, before seeing the Lord, he had so many other plans in his life to get the better throne than his own father, to get, to conquer the three worlds. But somewhere or other, after seeing the Lord, he felt it was very bad that he was looking for some broken glass. because he had found the diamond of Krishna. So he said that, it's so difficult to please Krishna, but after pleasing Krishna, and I'm looking for, the material advancement. And then he said, Krishna, if he wants, he would have, give me the benediction to become free from birth, old age, disease and death. It is just like a dead man, getting some treatment from the doctor. So in the way that, Dhruva Maharaj, a great devotee, like we see in the life of Prahlad Maharaj, Narasimhadev asked him, what benediction do you want? He said, Yadi dasyasi me kaman varam tuam bardar sabha kamanam ridi asambroham bhavatas nevaram. My Lord, I have not come here to do business with you. The moment I want this, you want this, it'll become like a businessman, so I'm not here to do business with you. I don't want any benediction, but the Lord insists that I would like to give you something. Then he says, if you wanted to give me something, please take away all the unwanted elements in my heart, all the anarthas, material accumulation, material desires. You take away all the material desires from my heart and make me your pure devotee. So this is what he says to the Lord, and Maitunadi Giriyamedi Sukhame Tucham Kanduyayena Karayori Vahiduka Dukam Turjantina Kripana Bahuduka Bhavam Kandutivan Manasila Visayeta Dhira. He says, my dear Lord, what is there to look for in the material world? It is, a simple agitation in the material world. And when you indulge in that agitation becomes more greater and more greater. And he gave an example of rubbing of two hands. When you rub the hands, so you got some itchiness in your hand, you are rubbing and you feel very good in the beginning, and you continue rubbing, you feel very good again, and it gets a little bit, warm and hot, of your hand. And when you keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, then you'll see the skins are peeling off. And what is beginning was very joyous, become very, miserable. Is a material world is like that. Tatsadhamanya Surabharya. Somewhere or other the living entities have fallen into the dark world of this material world, and by falling into the material world, what do they get? He says that always, every day, only about miseries and miseries and miseries, unless he goes and surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So now on the 10th chapter, Arjuna asked, that Arjuna accepted Krishna to be the Supreme. But in the 11th chapter, Arjuna wants the whole world to understand that it's not just a theoretical knowledge, it is a practical application of the knowledge. And he wants the world to believe in what Krishna says. Krishna says in the 10th chapter, text said, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matam Sarva Pravartate Hitti Matva Bhajanti Mam Buddha Bhava Samanveda. I am the source of all material and spiritual things in the world. An intelligent person, they worship me. So Krishna have declared this thing, and Arjuna have accepted this thing in the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. In the 11th chapter, Arjuna says, Manyase Tadiyakyam. He says, my dear Lord, please, if you think I'm able to see your cosmic manifestation, Manyase Yadita Chakyam Mayadrisam iti Prabhu Yogeshwaram Tatome Tuam Dristyatmanam Avyayam. Please show me your universal form. And Prabhupada writes that it's not, Arjuna is not convinced with what Krishna says, because the whole world is not convinced that there's a creator and he's the boss. Everybody thinking they are the master of this survey in the world. And he wants to see Krishna. He asks Krishna, if you think I'm qualified to see your universal form, please show it to me. Natumam sakyate dristam anenaiva swachaksusa. He says, my dear Arjuna, divyam tadami me chaksu. Pasyame yogam aiswaram. He says, with these, material eyes, you won't be able to witness this. So I give you the spiritual eyes for you to see. Aneka vaktara nayanam, aneka bhutla dharsanam, aneka divyambaram, divyam anekam yatayudam, divyam malayambaram dharam, divyam kandatmalokmam, sarvasarya maya deham, anantam vishvato mukham, aneka. Then Krishna showed him the universal form, and he saw aneka, many legs, many hands, many bellies, many mouth, and many ears, and many eyes. Devi Surya Sahasrasya Bhave Yukta Upasate. He says, just like 100 and thousands of suns, comes at once and at one time, how it become, illuminating. In the similar way, you have appeared, it's like, very difficult for anybody to perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Krishna is very kind. So in the 11th chapter, Arjuna wants to see for real that he is the universal form, everything emanates from him. And Krishna have showed him the universal form. And now in the 11th chapter, text 31, Arjuna asked him again, Akya imeko bhavanugra rupam namasustu devo varam prasidha vigyatam ichami bhavantam atyam nahi prajanami tava prasidam. Please tell me, who are you? What is your mission of coming to the world? So if you know what is Krishna's mission, then you know how to live in the world. And if you know what is Prabhupada's mission, then you know how to live happily and peacefully in ISKCON movement. Sometimes we get into different kinds of trouble, we get into a different kind of anxieties, because we are not in a line with the mission of the movement. Prabhupada has got, just like Krishna has got his mission. Arjuna asks Krishna, what is your mission? Krishna says, Kalosmi loka saikra pravada lokan samahartam iya pravarta rite pitvam na bhavisyanti sarve. He says, I am the time I've come to kill everybody here except you Pandavas. Everybody will be killed here. Tasmad Udishta Yaso Labaswa Jitva Satram Bhunktva Raja Samlitva Maya Ivaita Nimitta Purumeva Nimitta Matram Bhava Savya Sakshi. I've already put everyone in death, everybody been killed, and I just wanted to become an instrument in my plan. Dronam cha Bhismam cha Dronam cha Jayadrattam cha Karnam Tadanyam apiyodavran. Is I've already killed all these great warriors in the world, Bhisma, Drona, Karna and everybody. You take the garland and put it here around your neck and take the credit for being my instrument. You don't need to do anything. Even in ISKCON, you don't need to do anything new because already done by Prabhupada. You just have to cooperate. And Prabhupada has got, when he registered the ISKCON organization, he had 7 purposes for organizing, for registering ISKCON movement. Number 1 is that he found the whole world is seeking for peace. But somewhere or other, he found there is no unity among the people of the world. So how to find peace? If the cat thinks it's a cat, the dog thinks it's a dog, they're going to fight. Unless they see the soul and the super soul within their body. And Prabhupada said that, the first reason I'm registering the ISKCON movement is that there is imbalance, in the emotion of the living being of the world. So due to that, there is no unity. Due to no unity among the people, he says, there is no peace in the world. So bring the balance in the values of the human life. Nowadays, everything minus values. Everything is about minus values. There are no moral values in the human society. By hook or crook, make money and enjoy everything. So, first reason Prabhupada created, registered this organization is to bring in the balance of values in the human society so that everyone can be united and be peaceful. And number 2 is that Prabhupada created this organization so that they can propagate Krishna consciousness by reading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The third reason is that Prabhupada created this organization so that devotees, the members of the organization, can come together and take the association and help each other to progress in Krishna consciousness. The fourth reason is that Prabhupada has understood Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the world and he has predicted Prithivite Achiyari Nagaradigram, in every town and village that the holy name will be spread. And Prabhupada wants the members of the organization to be an instrument in propagating Krishna consciousness around. The fifth reason Prabhupada created this organization is to build temples, to found the holy places, so that the members can have a facility to practice Krishna consciousness. The sixth reason for Prabhupada to register this organization, to learn to live very simple, with a higher thinking and a natural way of life. Everything is very unnatural in the material world. Somewhere or other, people are living very artificial life. So their smile is very artificial. They cry also very artificial. They laugh also very artificial. The way they look and walk, everything artificial to impress others, to impress others. They are not living their own life in the world. Maximum we are indulging with many, many people, so you have to adjust to the people's convenience. If you go and tell them you're fool or you're not taking up Krishna consciousness, they will get upset with you. So we don't want to upset anybody, and we said you're very intelligent. Please chant Hare Krishna. The same thing, you have to say it in a different way. Somewhere or other, artificial livings are going on in the world, so people are not happy in the same family. Everybody trying to please each other. Somewhere or other, nobody is really for the ultimate truth of life, because they are not Krishna conscious. Prabhupada says devotees have got only one life, and they got only one tongue. He said politicians have got many life and many tongues. They got one tongue for the family, one tongue for their ministers, one tongue for the public. Everywhere they change, speculate and manipulate, and all they want to make sure that they are sitting on the position to dominate others for their own sense gratification. So the sixth reason Prabhupada created this organization is to learn to live a simple and happy life, a natural way of life. And the seventh reason Prabhupada says that to publish his books, magazines, some writing, so that people can be enlightened in their life towards Krishna consciousness. So if devotees understand, if this is the mission of ISKCON movement, and if you got your own mission going against this mission, then you have to open another organization of yourself and establish the way of your ideology. So here, Krishna is very kind, because he says, I've already done everything. In the Mahabharata battle, the two parties, the Kauravas and the Pandavas, they're going around seeking for people who can join them to battle against each other. So the Duryodhana team, they went around, Arjuna Pandava's team went around to collect some friends who can support their cause. On the other side, they also go and find. And they found, somebody joined the Duryodhana and somebody joins, Pandava. So you go and open your own organization, surely somebody will join you. So now, there was the Udupi, the king of Udupi. And the Udupi king told them that, I'm not going to support, this party or that party, but I'll be a cook for all the warriors. I'm not going to do anything else. So he's been appointed as the cook. The two parties are going to fight, and he brought, all his people, to do the cooking, so that, everybody gets food. Daytime, morning they fight, and night they go and take rest. So in this way, he was cooking food for all the warriors of the two parties. And when he was serving the food, Yudhishthira was a little bit, doubtful how he knows how much to cook. Because every day there are thousands of people, soldiers are dying. So he must, cannot cook every day the same amount, he has to balance the cooking. So he was thinking how he knows that, how much to cook. Then he went to the kitchen, asked, the cooks and all. They said, we do not know, we just take the order from our king. He said, today you cook this much. And the next day morning before cooking, he said, okay, you only cook this much. So he gave us the order how much to cook for a day. So then Yudhishthira came to, came to the king, Udupi king. So he asked the Udupi king that, I was told by the cooks in the kitchen that you give them the order how much to cook. So how do you know that how many people are going to die tomorrow and how much to cook? How you know? He said, that is very easy. He said, every day I'm serving food for Krishna. All are seated, and Krishna is seated, next to Yudhishthira, and I serve food for them. And in that food there is, there's peanuts also included in the food. And then I put peanuts for Krishna, And then there's a calculation in that peanuts. 1 peanuts equals to 1,000 soldiers. 2 peanuts equals to 2,000 soldiers. So I put the peanuts for Krishna, and then after eating I check how many peanuts are left there. And whatever amount of peanuts been eaten by Krishna, and calculate 1,000 times, that some people going to die tomorrow. So how many people are going to die tomorrow? That's already destined today itself by, that night itself by Lord Krishna. So you don't need to worry about how to propagate Krishna consciousness. We have to just follow, take the order of Srila Prabhupada and execute this, and Krishna is very kind. And today it's been mentioned here that, the devotees, they focus at the lotus feet of Krishna to get his blessing. Because the lotus feet of Krishna, represents, many auspicious, marks are there in the lotus feet of Krishna. Actually, there are 19 marks at the lotus feet of Krishna, 11 on the right, foot, and there are 8 on the left. On the right foot, 11 side, that's a barley corn, number 1, disc, number 2, and upward curving line, number 3, lotus, number 4, and the elephant goat, that's number 5, and flag, number 6, thunderbolt, number 7, umbrella, number 8, and octagon is number 9, swastika, number 10, and a rose apple, number 9. These are at the lotus feet of Krishna on his right foot. On the left foot, there are, Sankha, there's a conch, number 1, and the sky, number 2, bow, number 3, and calf's hoof print, number 4, and a triangle, number 5, water pot, number 6, half moon, number 7, and fish, number 8. So there are 8, auspicious marks on the left foot of Lord Krishna. There are 11, auspicious marks on the right foot of Lord Krishna. So number 1, that gives a lot of, meanings of all these marks at the lotus feet of Krishna. That is why the devotees are very focused at his lotus feet. Number 1, the barley corn, it represents, the intake of your maintenance. You have to sustain in this world by taking some grains. So number 1, the barley corn represents that. Don't worry about your food. You come and surrender, give your life to the lotus feet of Krishna, and your sustainability in this world can be taken care. So your food automatically comes to you. If you have got that kind of faith and trust at the lotus feet of Krishna. So there is barley corn. Number 2, disc. Disc represents to kill. There are 6 enemies are sitting in the mind of the living being. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. The last greed to anger. There are 6, enemies are there. So the disc at the Lord's feet of Krishna represent to kill the 6 enemies in your mind. So disc is number 2. And number 3 is the upward of, curving line is going upward. It shows that, when you come and surrender to Krishna, that takes you to the upper planetary system, takes you back to the abode of the Lord. Number 4, there's a conch, there's a, Padma, lotus at the, soul food of the Krishna, that represents just like the lotus flower lives in the water. Similarly, a devotee's eyes, whose eyes are filled with love, so easily they attain the mercy of Krishna. Always there is some, love of tears of love for Lord Krishna. And number 5, the elephant goat. When the elephant is there, they use the goat to control the elephant, the sharp items. So it says that, the mind is like an elephant. To control the mind, the goat can help. So similarly, those who have understood, surrendered to Krishna, and the goat, will be used by Krishna to help to control your mind. And number 6 is the flag. Flag, represents of your own country, security. You are somewhere else, in Pakistan, you are in great anxiety. When you see the flag of India on the other side, you feel, okay, I'm already in the border, I'm safe. So security represents, the flag of the Lord represents the security of your life. And the 7th, marks on the lotus feet of Krishna's thunderbolt, that, all kinds of, karmic reaction will be cleared from you like a thunderbolt. And the 8th marks on the lotus feet of Krishna is the, umbrella. Just like Krishna lifted, Govardhan hill to protect the Vraja devotee. Similarly, Krishna protects the devotee. No need to worry about your protection. And 9th is the octagon. Octagon is, like 8, ways of, octagon. So that represents the 8 siddhis, 8 perfection of your life. Anima, Mahima, Garima, Lagima, Prapti, that it becomes smaller than smaller, heavier than the heavier, lighter than the lighter, bigger than the bigger. And then, from your sitting, you can travel to India and come back. From your sitting, you can take, the fruit from New Zealand, Australia. You can travel around. You can control people's mind. You can, manipulate the material elements in this world. You take a handkerchief, you make it like a bird, and bird flying, take the bird, you make a car. So there is the 8 perfection can be attained by focusing at the lotus feet of Krishna. And the 9th is the swastika. All kinds of inauspiciousness will be cleared from you. That will be always auspiciousness in your life. And the 11th, marks on the lotus feet of Krishna is called rose apple. It is called Jambupala, that, the place we are living is called Jambudvep. There are 9 islands are there, 7 dimensions are there, and this is called Jambudvep. So once you come to Krishna, you'll be lifted from the Jambudvep, from the material world, you'll be transported to the spiritual world. These are the 11 marks, auspicious mark represents at the lotus feet of Krishna. So devotees are always remembering this thing, and they're trying to focus at the lotus feet of Krishna. And the marks, auspicious marks from the lotus feet of Krishna, whether it's Padma, whether it's triangle, whether it's octagon, whether it's swastika, all reciprocate, like the Prachetas, the Lord is reciprocating with them. So these are the 11 marks are there. There are 8 marks on the left leg of the left foot of the Lord. And number 1 is the conch. The conch, we put water in the conch and we worship the Lord. It says just like, it is the, always, you feel so much pleasant, bit of, there is no dryingness, there is no frustration in your life, So conch represents to clear all kinds of frustration. And number 9 is the number 11, 12, number 13th. From the left foot, number 1 is the conch, and number 2 is the sky. The sky, it is there, but it is not attached to the anything around, and the sky is all pervading, is spread all over the universe. So you understand, Lord is present everywhere, and in the same time he is not attached to anything. So it reminds that devotees should be living in the world, doing all their duties, in the same time they are not attached to anything in the world. So number 1 on the left foot is the conch, and number 2 is the sky, and number 3 is the bow. The bow represents to take away all kinds of worriness in your life. And number 4 on the left foot is the calf's hoof print. The material world is a big dangerous place all the time. At every step there's a great danger. But when you come to Krishna, that great danger, like an ocean, it becomes like calf's hoof print, become very small for you to cross. That is number 4. And number 5 is that is the triangle. The triangle represents 3 kinds of miseries in the world: Adi-atmika klesa, Adi-bhautika klesa, Adi-daivika klesa. There's a misery caused by the nature. There are misery caused by other living beings. There are misery caused by our own body and mind and senses. So that triangle represents to finish off the 3 kinds of miseries. And the 6th is the water pot. Water pot it represents the Ganges water. That the Ganges water, the source of the Ganges water is the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And the Ganges water purifies human's life. Similarly, God's presence, His association purifies our living in the world. And the 7th auspicious mark that the lotus feet of Krishna is the half moon. The moon bringing coolingness in the human life. It's not like the sun bringing hot, warm weather, but it brings coolingness. The moon brings coolingness. Even Lord Shiva, he holds half moon on his head. It represents that the Vaishnava must understand, come to Krishna. Krishna will bring the coolingness, good news in your life. And the 8 marks on the auspicious marks on the lotus feet of Krishna is the fish Matsya. At the end, devastation of the world, the fish Matsya comes to protect the devotees, lead the devotees' life. Finally, at the end of your life, Krishna will come like a fish and transport you to his own abode. So for this reason, the gopis are very enthused. They're very always meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. In the Gopi Gita, they wrote, Chalasi Advaitat Charayan Paso Nalinam Chundaram Nadate Padam Silatainan Kure Sidatitina Kalilatas Manam Gandham Gacchati. So Gandham is like a magnet. Our mind is being like a pull, like a magnet of your lotus feet. They said you're going to take care of the cows. You're not wearing any shoe for yourself. So we are worrying that it may hurt. There are rough grass are there, different kinds of plants are there. So anything may hurt your lotus feet. And Krishna is very kind. Why Krishna is not wearing any shoe? When first time he wants to take the calves for herding, and mother said, you're going into the forest, wear some shoes and go. And Krishna said, I'm not going to wear. Mother Yasoda asked, why? And he says, all my cows and calves are not wearing shoe. So if they are not wearing shoe, how I can wear shoe? And what to do? He says, our father has got 900,000 cows. So make pairs of shoe for all the cows here. Mother says that's not possible. And Krishna says, in that case, I'm also not wearing. And Krishna walking without the shoes, and the cows, they were thinking, just because of me, Krishna don't want to wear shoe. and Krishna, and they thought, now we have to go all around Vrindavan, they went and smashed all the, stones, bricks, pebbles, everything. You go to Vrindavan, that kind of sand you'll never find anywhere else around the world. Because they don't want any stones or anything to hurt Krishna's lotus feet. So in return, because Krishna thought of them and they thought of Krishna, that is the beautiful reciprocation. Krishna takes care of your life, he gives you a happy life. Generally, most of the devotees are very happy. Generally, you see their life, is a bit more peaceful, travel around, because the devotee has come from Malaysia, he and his wife. Many people working, they are not able to travel anywhere. And many devotees in Malaysia, all the time they're going to India and coming back. Even a fellow working, some laborer job. And many, their relatives are wondering, we also working, they also working, but every time they're going and coming, they're not even able to go to the nearest city around our country. So Krishna bless the devotee's life. So in this way, Kundadevi says, Nayam Sobayati Tatra Yadadenim Gadadara Tvalpalam Ankaja Pathir Swalakshanam Sivilaksita. Kundadevi says, my dear Lord Krishna, because of your lotus feet, I've touched our lands. And everything, flourishing in our lands. So that is why the devotees here the last word, I think Prabhupada says here in his purport that, devotees are always attracted by the lotus feet of the Lord. Devotees are attracted because they know what is at the lotus feet of Krishna. And there's a thunderbolt to finish off all your karmic reactions. Who won't be interested? Everybody wants to solve their life problem. They're working very hard and trying to go to the doctor, trying to go to the university, trying to find different ways how to solve, the karma in my life. And devotee understood, there's a thunderbolt at the lotus feet of Krishna that is meant to, finish off all the reaction of karma of my life. So let me take shelter at that thunderbolt, And there's an umbrella at the lotus feet of Krishna. Just like Indra got angry with the Vrajabasis. He came 7 days, non-stop, rain, and he lifted, that umbrella of Govardhan hill. And in the Ramayana, Hanuman, he brought, they wanted to build a bridge towards Lanka, the 800,000 miles. And Hanuman brings, different, elements, Then Hanuman finally brings the Govardhan. And that moment, Lord Ram announced the bridge is already built, no need any more anything. And, Hanuman left, the Govardhan there itself. It is where the Govardhan hill is there. So Hanuman left, Govardhan, and then the Govardhan started to cry. Then I'm not able to be engaged in Krishna's service. I've come all the way, you lifted and came, but come here, I'm not able to, do this thing. So now, Hanuman went and told Ram, the Govardhan, the hill is not happy because it has come but not being able to engage in your service. Ram said, tell the hill, don't worry, next I will be coming back as Krishna and I will be lifting and holding the hill for 7 days and 7 nights. In this way, he has come to do some seva, I will do some seva for him. Always there is a reciprocation between Krishna and all the devotees, not like, one way that only you do and I'm not going to do anything. Love means, interaction between each other. So in this way, we have got a wonderful, information coming from the Bhagavatam that, the Prachatas, were very pleased with Lord Krishna. And Krishna was very pleased with them. And Krishna wants to give them something. But, they are thinking, Prabhupada gives, like a bee, sit in the parijata flower. He already taken enough honey for itself. What else is there? Just like if you want to, somebody wants to give you food, then you're already full. And, I said, never mind, I'm not hungry. When Duryodhana offered food to Krishna, Krishna says, for 2 reasons, I can eat. One is that if I'm hungry, I will eat. Another thing, if you offered me with love, I will take. But now I'm not hungry and you have not offered with love, so I'm not taking. So only way to capture Krishna, only way to be happy in your life, you must have that love in your heart. Otherwise, all the other 6 enemies are sitting. And Alvar says, Ingayil Panbupol, one of the Alvar, he says that, he tells the enemy sitting, he says, who called you to come and sit here? I've not invited you, And how come you have come and sit you? And he says that place I'm, reserved for Lord Krishna. But you have come and sat inside here. So you have come without my invitation, better go away without me telling you. That place I got to offer to Krishna. So you have to reciprocate to Krishna in a beautiful way. Okay, thank you so much for being here today. And any questions or any doubts here? And you're like a prachetas, all satisfied and happy, and nothing else, just go and take prasadam. Okay, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Pramanande. Hare Krishna.
Bhakti Mukunda Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki Jai. They are very big congregation preacher in Malaysia.
You came just to see Maharaj?
Came for vacation with my wife, then we came here first day, so Maharaj.
They came other day, I was in upstairs.
You were?
He came, I think 2-3 days ago.
Day before.
Day before yesterday. I was in upstairs, but maybe you don't know. And Sunday evening, yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Traveling,
huh?
traveling.
Where you went from here?
I think we went nearby the Maharaj, not so far.
That's all,
Listen a bit of the Maharaj. Listen a lot of burn on like simple. And the sisters like a much more the sisters in the beginning. Other things they do for me, like
Hare Krishna. How are you? Not working today?
No, Prabhu, we came from Abu Dhabi.
To Abu Dhabi. What is it? Visiting? They build the temple in Abu Dhabi.
Baptist temple.
Babs temple.
You visited the temple?
Yes.
So the locals are coming there? Or
What local do you
The Arabic people.
Arabic people?
No.
Not so much, but they are coming.
They're coming on this one.
The big temple they built.
This is the temple of Olympus.
How many more days you already?
Total 16 days. But we'll have another type of dosa. Singapore, Germany,
Yeah.
then Berlin, then Denmark temple. Now
Go. Oh, you're going to go by train or?
by train.
Have a happy stay in Europe.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Again. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You have every information that you need for today? You go to travel today?
Yeah, just explore the city. I don't really book for this sightseeing plus.
Yes. If you need information, I can
Please do something.
Yes, we have here a special place in Prabhupada. Prabhupada was 1767, and a few days here in 8 minutes from here, in a hotel, is from the FIFA, now it's a football FIFA hotel. Prabhupada was there.
So we can go Prabhu there?
Yes, it's 8 minutes to walk from here.
Oh, okay.
If you want, I can bring you.
Yeah, Prabhu, please. After breakfast we can.
It's a hotel now?
It's a hotel and it's a nice sightseeing because there was Prabhupada. And you see the same mountains, the same things to see Prabhupada when he was here. For me, it's absolutely amazing.
I'd like to see
Yes.
the Canada.
Yes. When you have time, you can.
Prabhu, up to, we will leave by 12 o'clock. Before 12 we are free.
Before 12 we are free.
11?
11
Before
o'clock.
12 we are free. And then we see us
After breakfast, Prabhu, we are
I'm
free.
here, I'm cleaning our bedrooms, and I'm cleaning the shower, and I'm in the house. My name is Bhakti and you ask somewhere and they will call. When you have time, you have.
Okay, sure.
So around 10:30, 11:30.
No problem. Nice.
Okay.
It's nice. It's really nice. And it's sunny. It's a sunny day.
Yeah.
It's,
Why not? Of course, for one
It's
day.
okay. it's,
We'll be happy to
it's,
see
it's the best one that we have here.
Yes.
Thanks
Prabhu,
for
one more thing. I need to just clean some clothes, so there is some space
Ah,
with
yes,
wash.
Yes, I can show you. Yes, of course, I can show you.
Come.